Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Black Cats TV. We're back, but this time talking about transfers, outgoings. Transfer outgoings for January. There's been quite a bit of murmurings this week about potential people leaving, a lot of contracts up in the summer, so you could expect a bit of movement and maybe try and free up some additional bit of wages if we do plan on having a bit of a splurge before we try and assault the top 10 this season. But we have a look into this now. But before we do, please hit the like and subscribe button. It really does help us out. We're nearly at 3,400. So we really appreciate it if you could just hit that button, subscribe, tell your friends about it. Helps out. Thank you. So let's have a look at this one. So I've got the Sunderland Echo on here first. So they're talking about players that leave. So the first one they bring up is Anthony Patterson, which I think we all thought was, fairly obvious. I think he'd have a lot of potential suitors in the Championship to be their number one, which you could easily understand. He's a very good shot stopper and a very good goalie. We did have a few issues with him last season where his command of his area was an issue, especially against Leeds and Hull towards the back end of the season. But as a shot stopper, he was absolutely fantastic. So he'll have no shortage of potential suitors, and I don't think he's going to be keen to sit on the bench for forever. Same with, I think it mentions here, Blondie. I think he'll probably find his way out soon as well. And I think especially with the role that Simon Moore's taken as almost like a goalkeeper coach as well as a number two, I think we're more likely to see Moore stay. Patterson go for a bit of money there, especially being a young player. I think we could ask a bit more for him as well. Then it goes on to Dennis Sirkin. Now, Sirkin's deal, if I remember, is up in the summer. Now, they'll be talking about, he's behind Reynildo and Masuaku. But for me, I think he won't be behind Masuaku. Masuaku will probably be wanting to leave this summer, especially with Congo getting to the World Cup. I think he'll be desperate to play games so that he can then get into the Congo team and play at a World Cup. I also think he's dreadful. He's played in 3 games for us and, was really bad, shall we say. That's the nicest way of putting it. Whereas Reynildo's fantastic. I think he's got one of the highest one-on-one defensive success rates this season with, I think it was like 83%, they said. And that includes him playing against, Elanga, fantastic Elanga. But Saka, playing against whoever Chelsea had on the right-hand side, played against Salah, if he played on that, but Soboslai as well for them. So, he's definitely behind Reynildo. I still think he's got a role to play for us here, so I would be ashamed to see him go. But of course, he'll be wanting to play at the age he is there and get some minutes in under him, which if he chooses that, no argument there as well. Hjelde, yeah, I think it's time to go. Although you're Chris Rigg's best mate, so I don't know if they're keeping him around to keep Rigg happy and sort of get Rigg back on Rigg on side as well. But for me, it was one of those that you were never a number one player when we first brought you in, so I think we take the hit with that one. Elise, I really like Elise. I just wish he wasn't made of glass. I really wish we could get more out of him because for me, I think he's a fantastic player. When he plays, alone could back him. Yeah, I could see that. I think we want to give him the chance, get some, minutes under him, see if he isn't injured again. And, we'd have to find out. Pembele, yeah, get in the bin. You can go. Joe Anderson, yeah, you can go. Not a problem. Dan Neil. So this is the one that Mike will be adamant he wants to see leave. I don't think he's going to play. We've got Siddiqui and Diarra, as it mentions here as well, who both can play in that position as well. There's talks of other central midfielders that we've had linked with us over January. So Guendouzi's one of them as well. Conor Gallagher being another. Obviously, we're not in January yet, so we can't sort of say if that's going to be true or not. But I don't think he's got it in him to make the step up. If he's not going to play now, when all these players are away at AFCON, then he's not going to play at all for me. So I think you get what you can from him in January. If you get a replacement in terms of someone who actually can contribute to playing in the team there. If he's happy to sit on the bench till the end of the season, then, that's fine. And he can go on a free. And it's thank you very much for your, was it 300 appearances or I made that up, or 200 appearances? You did really well. You were the captain that led us through the championship, and we wish you all the best. Abdullah Ba, the sort of cult hero at the moment for his 5-minute spell against Newcastle in the FA Cup. For me, it didn't work out. It was a nice try, but not enough. I think it's time we got rid of you. Jay Matete, yeah, I think you were lucky that you got past League One. I don't know if that's just me being harsh there. I didn't think much of you in that season. and you didn't do anything to set the world on fire for 3 seasons following in the Championship. Mike still talks about him now and him playing there, so maybe, but not for me. Harrison Jones, yeah, maybe a loan, I suppose. I'll be honest, when I've seen him play, I've not thought much of him. I don't think he wasn't threatening to get in the team last season, and then how the team's leveled up this year, I don't think he's going to have much of a chance there for me. So maybe a loan, so that if he does really well, you can try and maximise your money for him as well. Pervada, yeah, I forgot you were still here, but yes, out you go. Abdullahi, I liked him when I saw him in the pre-season. I thought he was really good. When I've watched him in the under-21s, I think he's been really good as well. I don't think he's a starter by any means necessary for us, but I do think there's something there. So yeah, a loan for me would probably be the best one. The one that's come out of the blue the most, well, I might have come out of the blue the most. So it's the same Sunderland Echo. We're talking about talking to Labrie about the striker options, and it mentions Artem Dovbyk, who we mentioned before, of course. But it talks about if we do bring that striker in, what's going to happen to Mayenda, of course, who didn't still get any minutes against Brighton. Now, it says here, if Sunderland do move for forward players, then it could lead to Eliza Mender leaving on loan at the very end of the window. Mender has struggled for game time in recent weeks, but Labrie says he remains a key part of his plans. So we'll see, Reggie says. I'd like to see him get his opportunity, especially as a winger. I thought he was really good as a winger last season for us, and now that we've got the AFCON period, I don't see why he couldn't play out on the right there. Eliza started the season and then had other opportunities with strong players. Wilson played well. Brian is doing well at the minute, so we have only one position, so we play one striker. Now Eliza has to wait for a bit, but it can change really quickly. He can play as a striker, he can also play as a second striker, and probably on the right is able to play as well, which is what we said, and he's done that for his national team. So I think they're doing the right thing, which is they're not just binning him off. They are waiting to see, what comes up for Sunderland, what comes up for him. If we got another striker in, if we got some wingers in, maybe then I could see a loan being sanctioned for him, which is a shame because he hates Sam Fender and he's a bit of a cult here as well. He did start the season. I remember thinking if he'd have just took that chance against Burnley and he'd had 2 in 2, you'd have sort of thought maybe you will hold on to this, of course, and continue to sort of keep your place there. But the way Isidore was scoring at the start of the season, you weren't going to take him out there. I wouldn't want to get rid of Mayenda. I think it'd be a real shame if he were to go. I think a loan would probably be the best option for him. Again, if we get replacements in, we mentioned in that previous video, Oscar, Bob and Vargas, if they come in as a right-sided player, then he's not going to get any chance on the right-hand side, especially when AFCON's over and Traore's back, Talby's back, because if Idingra can't even get minutes in the game as well. And then is he going to play up front if we get another striker? You've got Robbie who's ahead of him. Isidore is clearly ahead of him as well. I don't want him to go. I think he's a really good player and really gets the club and all that. I keep seeing, at the end of games when they do when he does that, it's always the other players getting him to do it. And I sort of think it's one of those things that's like, it's sort of being taken away from him a little bit. It was his thing that he did, but if you're not playing, it's hard to do it. But I have no doubt that the backroom players, that especially the likes of Luke O'Nien, are putting the arm around him and just being like, we're just here for the team this season. So, he's young. He's what, 19, 20? There's plenty of time to grow in there. And I think that's what we've got to be careful with. We don't want to bin him off to say, I'm trying to think something like top end of the Championship teams, to give him some, and then he does really well, and then he comes back to haunt us, and we shouldn't have got rid of him there. So we do want to be fairly careful with Mayenda. There is a player there. It's just how we develop him at the moment while he can't play. A bit like Chris Rigg is another way of looking at it there as well. He's not going to get a huge amount of minutes, but we really don't want to just bin him off at this moment, because look at City doing that with the likes of Cole Palmer. I know it's not on the same level, but they're now sort of going, well, why have we done that? We could have easily had another player in there. But these are the decisions that, smarter people than us have to make and have to deal with there. So what can we do? But let me know if you've heard any other rumors about these players leaving, especially the likes of the contract boys such as Sirkin and Neil. Patterson. How much could we get for him? He's still young and an English tax, of course. There and Mayenda. If he were to leave, I think a loan only has to be a loan only. We're not going to sell him unless stupid money comes in. Unless someone in the Championship is going to bid like 20 odd million for him, then we're not gonna get rid. So that's just what I think. Let me know what you think in the comments, and we'll see you all in the next video. So take care, everyone, and goodbye now.